Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 45, the second Jordan episode of the 301 Outlet Podcast. We almost to a year, episode 52 coming in December. I'm pretty sure that will be a big show. I know Sanfa got something in the tuck for that he hasn't told us yet, because Sanfa be keeping stuff underneath his sleeve. But as you know, if I'm the one that's opening this podcast, you know that Sanfa is not here. Not right now. He'll be in later. But I got the other two hooligans. Evan, who's wearing his Montrezl Harrell jersey.
We got the brand new threads, bro. The brand new heat for the people.
And my boy Mark that got the green with the Eagles headband repping his squad because they got that dominant win last
you already
Sunday.
know how I'm feeling.
But today we were going to start off with week 8, but a lot of shit happened in the span of about the last 24 hours. And we're going to start off with Raiders wide receiver Henry Ruggs got into a car crash in Las Vegas early, Monday morning?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Tuesday, I think. Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday, Tuesday.
Early Tuesday morning at about 3 a.m. He was pretty hurt, but the car that he hit, the woman, 23-year-old woman, and her dog ended up dying. So prayers to her family, and all of her other loved ones. Henry Ruggs has been charged with a DUI. He is facing up to 2 to 20 years in prison, and he has been released by the Las Vegas Raiders. And it was also noted, before I let you guys go, he had gotten his blood work done. Like, he blew in a breathalyzer test. His BAC level, blood alcohol level, was 2 times higher than the legal limit. And he was clocked at traveling at 156 miles per hour. Drunk. He was very inebriated. He wasn't really cooperating with the police, and there was a loaded gun found in his backseat. So with all of that, I hand the floor off to you. It looks like Evan wants to say something first. The floor is yours.
All right, so look, first of all, y'all, I'm team fuck a speed limit all day, but there is no need that you should ever be going 156 miles per hour. That's number one. Number two, and the most obvious one, dog, if you are drinking, if you go out and you plan on drinking, you do not need to step behind the wheel of a car. There's no excuse for that. None. Because we all know somebody who's been affected by drunk driving. We all know somebody who's been hit by a drunk driver, or some of us know somebody who was stupid enough to get behind the wheel drunk. And it's just, a lot of people die from this every year. And it's just, wherever you're going, there's several other ways to get there. Like, you could ask a friend for a ride. You could take the metro or whatever public transit system applies to you, wherever you're listening to this from. You could do that. You could call an Uber. You could call a Lyft. There's so many ways to get you there safely. And plus, this man had a whole bunch of players, whole bunch of teammates in his locker room that would have willingly came and got him if and when he was in trouble, when he was drunk. All he had to do was call somebody. He didn't do that. Now look at him. 22 years old, had his whole life ahead of him. Now he's in the hospital and he's going to jail. All because of a mistake that could have easily been avoided. Prayers for the victim and prayers up for the family.
Yeah, I just want to say my condolences to the family of the victim and the victim herself. This is just an example of Henry Ruggs was just being straight up reckless. It sounds like hate to say it, like one of the typical nights in America. Henry Ruggs, went out, got lit, and thought he could get behind the wheel, thought he could, was probably showing off for the other girl that was in his car or whatever, because she got injured as well and she got hospitalized. But both of them have life-threatening injuries. But that's what it just sounds like. Henry Ruggs was being reckless and being stupid, like 156 miles an hour behind the wheel. That's literally never excuse to go that fast. He was definitely probably driving some kind of he was driving a Corvette. So he was probably showing off or something. This is dumb though. Like you said, he had his whole career lined up. Drunk driving is never an excuse to do that. He had players that literally could have, like you said, Evan, helped him out, got him to back to his destination. He didn't, and what makes it even worse, that loaded gun charge. Oh, bro, that just really hit the nail in the head with that, because that one right there is going to affect them a lot. That loaded gun, that loaded gun charge. I don't know what that was about, and that just makes him look even worse. So I don't see how he's coming back from this at all, because this is just he was just being too reckless, and he literally killed somebody in the process. So it's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
The saddest thing, and I'm gonna let you go, Darien. If it wasn't for this, we might have got to a point 4 or 5 years down the road where we're talking about Henry Ruggs as one of the greatest wide receivers in the league. And then about 2-3 years after that, whether he should be in the Hall of Fame. And now, because of this one thing he did, this one stupid thing he did, now we'll never know.
Yeah, so what I gotta say, I made a tweet. I just want y'all to see the jersey. I got it. I got to rep the Hornets. I got the Miles Bridges on. But aside from that, I made a tweet earlier and I have a gripe about this. And the gripe is all of the people that are acting like I know from my experience, we all have gone to a bar and we all have had drinks before and we all have driven home after the fact. And I'm not going to sit here and say don't drink and drive and blah 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 blah. My biggest thing is be responsible. My biggest thing is, if you know that you've had more than your fair share, and you know that you probably should not be driving. I blame 3 people. Of course, Ruggs, because how can you be so irresponsible? How can you be so stupid? You have to understand. How can you not realize that you are 22, you are in the NFL, you are one of the most promising young players in the NFL today? Come on now. You are part of the great group of receivers that has come out of Alabama over the last 3-4 years. Over there with Waddle and what's his face? Smith. So it's heartbreaking. But that, and the fact that you have all that money to get your family out the gutter, get your family out the mud, get them out the hood, and they're relying on you, and now you don't fuck that up because you wanted to be stupid. So that's where I blame him. And there's come on now. The other thing is, I know for me, when I go out, I normally don't get too lit at parties. I normally don't get too lit at bars. If I'm not home or at a place where I know I can stay, or if I didn't drive, I'm not getting lit at all. So there was nobody there that could have saved him from himself and taken his keys from him. And also, he was with another person too, which even makes it worse because he had 4 lives of danger, because I'm not going to forget the dog. And it's just like what Evan said, there are so many other options. You can Uber, you can catch a ride with somebody, or you can stay where you at. But I know in his case, that's probably not the safest idea. And also, you got all that money, hire a driver. Most of these celebrities, not even just athletes, most of these celebrities, they have personal drivers for when they go out. But it's a damn shame. Like, this whole situation is just a shame. It's very saddening. And again, my thoughts and prayers go out to the woman's family, to everybody. Her family, the woman who was in the car, I hope she's all right. I know you said non-life-threatening injuries. Her family, Ruggs' family, just prayers, man, because it's ridiculous. And again, it's like, for me, it's not a don't drink and drive thing. It's a be responsible. Because again, I know, and if Sanfa was here, I'm pretty sure he would agree. We have all had a couple drinks, and probably about an hour or so later, maybe even like 30 minutes to an hour or so later, we drive home. And a lot of people that's on Twitter talking about some don't drink and drive are doing the same thing. So I'm not going to take that holier than thou stance. I'm going to say be responsible. Take care of you. And that's probably like the only, like the main thing that I can just stress is take care of you. Make sure you are straight. You can't control who else is on the road. And just a quick story. I know that I'm rapping. Like, I knew somebody, like, they were very, big on, like, if I was to go out to like a bar, they would get very, very worried, even to the point of me getting like them getting upset. But one day, I think it was New Year's, they was getting off of work. I think it was about midnight, and they, who weren't drinking, almost got ran off the road by someone who was. So that's why I say be responsible, control what you can control, which is how much you drink, and what you're gonna do if you kind of feel like you really shouldn't be behind the wheel. Either ask somebody, call an Uber. I'd rather fade a $20 Uber than risk my life or fucking jail time because I'm too inebriated to drive. And that's all I got to say about it. It's just a damn shame. But moving on from that news, onto something a little less somber. Aaron Rodgers. Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers has contracted COVID-19. And he's out for this Sunday's game against the Chiefs. Now, what could have happened, because we all thought he was vaccinated, but apparently he's not. So he could have taken, I think, like, what is it? I think the rule is like 2 tests. I'm not going on Google.
He took them horse drugs.
He took the Joe Rogan drugs.
Yeah.
But
we all been getting beat by a horse, man.
But he could have taken, he could have taken like 2 tests. And if he had gotten 2 negative tests in about 24, 48 hours, then he could have been cleared to play on Sunday. But since he's not vaccinated, that's not the case. And the reason why it's such a huge deal about it is because at the beginning of the season, when all the vaccination stuff was, going around about the NFL, that's when the whole Cole Beasley stuff happened. And someone asked Aaron Rodgers if he was vaccinated, and he said he was immunized. Now, no one had the balls to ask him what that really means, because Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, and he says things in a very slick and sarcastic way. So we all just kind of felt like that was him being a little hippie, or him trying to be a smartass. So he had gone through, these last few weeks as if he had been vaccinated, and like he was, I think he was following like all the protocols for a player that wasn't vaccinated. But now it comes out that he's caught COVID, he's not vaccinated, and it's just a huge shit show. So what do you guys think about that?
Basically, the biggest thing I feel like is it's the same conversation we've been having for months, but we got a new element of kind of like betrayal to it, because nobody expected Aaron Rodgers to be in this conversation. So that's why everybody feels like kind of betrayed by it. Like, oh, like we wasn't expecting you here. We thought you were supposed to be the good guy. Like the one who's vaccinated, the one who tells his teammates to get vaccinated. That's who we thought Aaron Rodgers was. But this whole time turns out he was unvaccinated. So it's like a little bit of surprise to it.
Yeah, it seems a little contradiction on Aaron Rodgers' part. I mean, honestly, and I don't think anyone really had like Darien said, the balls to ask him that, to me, because he was already going through a lot of BS in the offseason. And that's a whole nother topic. But so I guess the vaccination question was just kind of like a filler at the time. And he says immunized. So, like Darien said, he can be like, sarcastic and stuff. But as a team leader, and of course as a quarterback of the team, it's a bad look on his part, because you literally are like the leader of this team. And plus, you're not no regular quarterback. You are Aaron Rodgers. And now, and so ironically, we did just see Aaron Rodgers at a Halloween party over the weekend. So that's probably where he contracted the virus, like 90% chance. So yeah, this is like really a bad look on his part. Literally was at a Halloween party the weekend before this like happened, and look at him now. Hopefully he gets better. And now he's missing out on a big game this Sunday against the Chiefs and Pat Mahomes. The first time I believe the Chiefs and Packers are playing each other, and Aaron Rodgers and Pat Mahomes probably going to get that matchup. And now we can't get the matchup, and it sucks from a fan standpoint. So yeah, this whole situation is just like, wow, this COVID stuff, it's not going away anytime soon. And these circumstances are just unfortunate with the Packers. So glad to see what Jordan Love is made of now. So hey.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, I'm kind of surprised that it's taken this long for a team to have an outbreak, because the Packers, remember their last game against the Cardinals, basically their whole receiving core and a coach was out because of COVID. So it's interesting, how Sunday's gonna go. But with all that being said, I hope, Aaron Rodgers, I hope this is a very mild case of coronavirus, and that he gets well soon, that he survives, and that we get to see him playing, soon. I don't know if this is going to prompt him to actually get the shot, but I kind of like, at least with guys like Cole Beasley, Kirk Cousins, and Lamar Jackson, they just told us up front that they're not vaccinated. And I know Beasley,
at least they were
Cousins,
honest.
Yeah, and Beasley and Cousins said they're just not going to get it. Lamar was just like, I may get it, I may not get it. So at least they were, like you said, at least they was honest. It sucks, and I really like Aaron Rodgers, and I try to defend him, but I can't with this one.
Yeah.
So just backtracking a little bit, NFL Week 8 takeaways. What are y'all takeaways?
My team stinks. That is all.
Well, we all knew that. Mark?
Man, my Week 8 takeaway. Whoa, Eagles, we won. Pretty much we just proved that we're not the worst team in the NFL. That's my week 8 takeaway. Yep. No, honestly, no. All seriousness, I'm happy that we're finally running the ball though, because that goes to show when we run the ball, look what we do. We actually can move the chains. So shout out to Nick Sirianni for actually running the ball. Yep. That's one of my week 8 takeaways.
Yeah.
And let's see what else. Oh yeah, Dallas won. Yeah, before I got to give them credit. They won with a backup QB. I wasn't even expecting that, honestly. They actually Cooper Rush. He shocked me. I got to give him credit where it's due, because I don't think anyone expected Cooper Rush to really go off in prime time like that, and he actually did. That was very interesting. But that just goes to show we have a good receiving core. Hey, things can happen, and Dallas is just looking like a pretty good, solid team. And I have to admit that, even as a diehard Philly fan, So hey, they did it. They're doing it right now.
Hell has frozen over, and pigs are fine. Anyways, my takeaways. This has been the week of the backup quarterback, because the Jets won with their backup quarterback in a game that they really should not have won. But kudos to Mike White, because he threw 2 early interceptions and they looked dead. But they came back, and my boy threw for 405 yards. The only player to throw for over 400 yards in his first start since Cam Newton did it in his rookie year, in week 1 of his rookie year. So Mike White of the Jets won in his backup start. Trevor Siemian of the Saints relieved Jameis Winston. Thoughts and prayers to him, because he done tore his ACL. And some way, somehow, he was able to be dancing in the locker room when the Saints won against Tom Brady and them Buccaneers. So prayers to Jameis. He really doesn't deserve this. I really hope.
He's the teammate you want, honestly.
Yeah. Like I was really hoping that Sean Payton would just let loose and just let him be Jameis. I think he's scared of 30 for 30 Jameis, and he's kind of trying to, he's watering him down. And then Cooper Rush, who hasn't thrown a pass since 2017, who really has only thrown before Sunday, he threw only 4 NFL passes. Made his first start for Dallas against the Vikings. I want to say something about that game. Like you, Mark, I was shocked that we actually won. I didn't really think we were going to win. At least I didn't have much confidence that we were going to win. And then it was I was thinking coming into the game, we're going to rely on Zeke, and just hope that our defense holds up, because the Vikings have a top 5 offense. And we tried to rely on Zeke, but the Vikings were literally like, nah, if y'all going to beat us, Cooper's going to beat us. It's kind of like what they used to do with the Cowboys. They're like, oh no, we're going to make Dak beat us. So I look at that, and I'm just like, Cooper Rush didn't look bad at all. I was talking to my dad about it on Monday, and we both kind of came to the realization that really Cooper Rush did not make a single bad throw. He threw a pick, but that was just a bad read. And at the same time, I think that ball got tipped. He threw a couple balls that could have been picked. I think he tried to thread the needle, but nonetheless, he really didn't make any bad throws. He looked very poised. The moment didn't seem too big for him. And as much props as I'm giving to Cooper Rush, that defense, although we didn't get any turnovers, as we have done in the last 7 games, although we didn't get any turnovers, we still shut them down. Like, we still shut them down on third down. Our third down defense was impeccable. We still got to Kirk when we needed to get to Kirk. And all I got to say,
rushing yards did Dalvin Cook have? Because he wasn't. Did he even do anything that game?
I don't even. Let me look that up because
like that's actually impressive shutting him down.
Yeah, because we bottled him up. Trevon Diggs, when he was guarding Justin Jefferson, he only held him to one catch for 3 yards.
I saw it. I was like, dang, Justin Jefferson got shut down that game. I was like, yikes.
Yeah, and hold on, I'm about to go to the game. Right.
And like I said, and like I tweeted before, you just cannot trust Kirk Cousins in primetime. Like I gave the Cowboys credit, but you cannot trust Kirk Cousins in primetime. Huh?
Dalvin Cook had 18 carries for 78 yards. That's not bad.
Not bad, but yeah, Kirk Cousins just wasn't doing. They couldn't do nothing through the air. Like simple, the offense was just bad was just slum overall.
And then he also turned into old Deacon Duck Kirk. But nonetheless, I look at that Cowboys pass rush, and you look at that offensive line, and we're getting to the quarterback, and we're missing 2 of our best pass rushers. Like, imagine Gallimore and Law on the line with Gregory and Basham, and then you can put Micah in there. That is a nasty defensive line. And then, I mean, we still got Leighton Vander Esch. I don't hate him, but he's another one of those guys, that he's not the greatest, but he has those intangibles. And then our secondary is low-key good. Like, I think if you give us just let us get our guys back. And I think we can only get better. And our offense is looking great, and we still got to get Michael Gallup back. So that's my takeaway. And I am so proud of my boys. Oh, so proud of my boys. So after that is just a couple quick hitters, some storylines from week 8. Derrick Henry's injury. Who wants to talk about that?
Shoot, I'll go first. That's huge for Tennessee, but we're gonna have to see. What's his name? I forgot the backup running back's name. I think it's
Jeremy McNichols. And then they just signed Adrian Peterson.
They signed.
So that's going to be interesting. Yeah. So honestly, the Titans, they're not dead though, because the Titans are still looking pretty impressive in that weak AFC South division, which they have no reason to lose because they still have other weapons. It's just the fact that Derrick Henry literally, when you have Derrick Henry, you don't really need to use your other offensive weapons. That's the wild part. It's like Ryan Tannehill. That's why he's been really kind of pretty good this season, because Derrick Henry can take a lot of been taking all the weight off his shoulders. He barely has to really pass the ball. Derrick Henry averages over 100 yards a game. So it's hey, but with him out for 6 to 10 weeks, man, you don't have that that it factor that that cheat code running back anymore. So we're going to be definitely seeing Ryan Tannehill in the pocket more, and actually have to see him pass to Julio Jones, AJ Brown, and they're going to see how the backup Tennessee's backup backfield is. It's going to be interesting seeing that going forward. But I think Tennessee are still the favorites in that weak division, because the AFC South is just trash, honestly, overall.
Yeah, and if that game, as you know very well, Mark, you can't really, it's hard to trust Carson Wentz. And I've been trying to root for him all season, but he hadn't thrown a pick in 5 straight games, and then he threw 2 bad ones, and in the late stages of that last game. But to piggyback, for what you said about the Titans making the playoffs, I think he said he's out. I think they said he's out about 6 to 10 weeks or something.
Yeah, 6 to 10 weeks. Yeah.
It's something like that. How that means
if they make the playoffs,
that if they make the playoffs, he'll be back. So literally all the Titans have to do is just make the playoffs.
Yeah, win that division.
And if they can get, that passing game together, because they've been kind of, the receivers been banged up. The offensive line isn't as good as it should be. They'll be all right.
Titans fans shouldn't really panic, yeah.
They shouldn't. All right, next one. Since Mark went with that one, Evan, this is for you. Who really broke the Chiefs?
Truth be told, my theory is the Browns gave us like a blueprint on how to beat the Chiefs in week 1. And ever since then, everybody's been following along and adding a little piece to it. Like first, the Browns were up in the second half, week 1. Chiefs come back to win. Week 2, the Ravens come back and beat Kansas City. And then so on and so on and so forth. Even Washington gave the Chiefs a game, as much as we stink. And we gave the Chiefs a game. So personally, I think that's it. But as far as like the team who I feel like broke the Chiefs, I'd honestly say it's the Chargers. Because ever since that Chargers game, the Chiefs have not looked the same.
I'll piggyback off of that. I do think that I actually think, and I've been saying that, I think the Buccaneers gave the blueprint on how to beat the Chiefs, and they just have not, for some reason, they have not, or they just refuse to adjust. And Pat says it. Pat says it every week. It seems like, oh, we'll get better, we'll figure it out. We'll get better, we'll figure it out. But they look the same that they've looked. The defense still sucks. They just picked up Melvin Ingram, so that'll help a little bit. But the defense still sucks. And you're still playing chuck it and fuck it football on offense. So we'll see. Right now they're out of the playoffs. So,
which that's crazy.
Yeah.
Think about.
They're out of the playoffs. And who knows? We've seen weirder things in the NFL. Eli beat Brady twice, so anything can happen.
Right.
We talked about Cooper Rush. Okay. So sticking with the AFC, the top seed in the AFC has kind of gone up, and they're every week since like week 3, there's been a new leader atop the AFC. It was the Bills, then it was the Bengals, now it's the Titans.
That conference is tight this year.
Yeah, so who do you think will really come out the AFC?
I'm gonna let Evan go first because I don't know. Well, honestly, I'm gonna just say this real quick. I think it was between the Bills and the Ravens. That's what I was to say. But I'm gonna let Evan analyze first, though.
Before the season, I said the Bills, and as of right now, I'm still saying Bills because I'm looking around the AFC and I'm thinking, can anybody in this conference beat the Bills in a playoff game? Is anybody set up? Is anybody set up to win, like to beat a team like the Bills in a playoff game? Where Buffalo's got that offense we all know about. They got Josh Allen. They got Stephon Diggs. I might have to turn this TV down a little bit. Anyway,
Knox.
They got Josh Allen. Yeah, they got, and Buffalo's got a defense that we really don't talk about enough because the Bills defense is quietly one of the best in the league. Like they get stops at all of the clutch moments when they need them to. Like this, like I don't see like the only AFC team who I see. Well, there's 2 of them that could possibly like give the Bills a run for their money in the playoffs. It's the Ravens and it's the Chargers. Other than them 2, I don't see anybody beat Buffalo until we get to the Super Bowl.
I agree, yeah, because Buffalo, Josh Allen, let's be real. Like I said before, besides, before Pat Mahomes to this point, he hasn't gotten it together. But I put Josh Allen as one of like the top 3 QBs this season, and this season along with I did put Justin Herbert up there too, but he's kind of like in a slump right now. And then I put Pat Mahomes in there, but I still think Josh Allen is, like I said, overall he's like the most solid QB in the league, and it's just been simply showing. Like it simply shows for itself with the record. The Bills are like the favorites in the division, and they're one of the favorites in the AFC. Which this year the AFC is looking very shaky with teams that we should be like very like dominant right now, elite, but it's still like some questions here and there, like this far in the season, because we've seen some unusual things. But yeah, the Bills, I believe, are just coming out the AFC, and I believe they're the team to beat because Josh Allen is just that good, and I still don't think he gets all the credit he deserves. Honestly, though, I mean enough credit he deserves because like of course we talk about Lamar and everything, his explosiveness, but Josh Allen is just like plays that fundamental good quarterback football, and he's really actually more athletic. He's more athletic than we actually think, and yeah, it's been paying off. So, yep, I think it's the Bills.
Yeah, I agree. I got the Bills too. However, I forget who said it. Who said could like go and beat Buffalo in a playoff game? I don't. Number one, I would.
I don't see anything.
I would like to see someone go up there with Bills Mafia and beat the Bills on their home field. I would also, I don't think that the Bills want to see Pittsburgh again. Because if Pittsburgh squeaks into that wild card and they get a wild card win, I don't think the Bills want to see them again. I really don't.
Pittsburgh, though, I mean,
personally, though, I'm not.
If that defense gets healthy, and that defense plays on its head like they did in Week 1, the Bills don't want to see that.
Yeah, but I'm gonna still need to see more from the Steelers. Like because from the last 2 weeks, what has Pittsburgh been doing? They scored 15 on the Browns. Yes, they won, but they scored 15 points against a team that has still like 15, 16 people on IR. Right. And the week before that, they needed overtime to beat Geno Smith. I'm not sold on the Steelers right now.
Yeah, I'm not very sold on them, but I'm just thinking just like the team, the Ravens too. And maybe the bank
Pittsburgh's definitely not beating the Ravens.
Basically
like,
three teams
not
out,
Baltimore.
Basically 3 teams out the AFC North.
Actually, no, they might beat the Ravens in one game because how them rivalry games go.
Well, regular season, yeah, but not play.
Yeah, you know how them rivalry games go. Pittsburgh might get one.
Yeah, in the regular. Yeah,
I'm saying like if that defense can get to Josh Allen like how they did, it's going to be cold. They're a hard-hitting physical defense. That means something. However, it is Josh Allen. It is the Bills. Now, although you can play solid defense on them, but can you outscore them? I don't think the Steelers will do that. However, I still don't think the Bills want to see Pittsburgh if they have to play them in a divisional round, or hell, even in the wild card. If say the Bills don't get the number 1 seed, so we'll see about that. Pull up these topics. Oh yeah, who is? I think I know the answer to this. Who is the biggest disappointment in the NFL this season?
Oh, that one's kind of obvious so far. I'm gonna say to Chiefs. I'm gonna just say the Chiefs. Yeah, because they went from winning a Super Bowl 2 seasons ago to making the Super Bowl again to now just like really they're not even in the playoffs right now. Like so, I'd say it's the Chiefs, and Pat Mahomes is going to pick like he's not playing the as normal. He's going to pick in like 7 straight games. This is not the Pat Mahomes we're used to seeing. I don't know what's going on with him this year, and like you just discussed earlier, I think teams like figure them out and everything. But Yeah, it's the Chiefs for sure. They're the biggest disappointment.
Honestly, I'm gonna say Seahawks. I'm gonna say Seahawks mainly because I had this team winning the NFC West, and the NFC West was supposed to be the toughest division in football. You look at them now, and they're in last place, like 4 games behind Arizona and LA.
I don't think no one had
think
Arizona
they're gonna
being
catch
as
up.
good though. Yeah, I want to say the Seahawks. I mean, I don't think no one had Arizona being as good though. You know, like I think that's we want to go like flip
I
it
had
around, say the
Arizona
biggest
being
surprise,
decent, but
but not no 7-1. You know,
I
Arizona-
just felt like everybody else was better. Which is not to say the Cardinals are bad. It's just the division was that good.
See, Arizona
Yeah.
had a great start just like this last year. And that's how I can tell the difference between last year and this year. Is because last year they let games get away that they shouldn't have let go of. But I didn't think the Seahawks, and you did pick them to come out the AFC. I mean, not AFC, NFC West. I'm going with the Browns because the Browns was a lucky Chad Henne throw away from an AFC championship game. So I just we thought the Browns, especially with all the injuries that the Ravens had, because we didn't think the Bengals were going to be this good. We knew Pittsburgh was going into the sunken place. And the Ravens, basically their whole running back room and their defense got injured right before the season started. And so we didn't think that they would really do anything. So we were saying that this is the Browns division to win because they had 2 stud receivers in Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham. They have Baker Mayfield, who's not a great quarterback, but he's good. He's a good quarterback to have.
Yeah, for sure. He doesn't deserve some of the slander.
And then they have, the 2-headed monster in Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. So, and then not to mention
Dearness Johnson. Yup.
Yeah, and then not to mention with Dearness Johnson, and that offensive line is freaking crazy. But the biggest disappointment is that defense, because with all the moves that they made, we thought that they were going to be, world beaters, that they weren't going to be your grandfather's Cleveland Browns. We thought, okay, the Browns are finally good. But really, I mean, granted, injuries happen. But at the same time, that defense has not performed. The defense has not been good. And they're just mediocre at best. So I'm gonna go with the Browns.
Yeah, I mean the Browns. Yeah, honestly, the Browns are supposed to be much. Oh shit, my connection. Oh shit.
You're good. I can hear you.
Shit. Hold on, I didn't know you was done. I think my connection was lagging because I thought you was done talking. I had to edit that out. My bad.
It's all good.
Yeah, but if I'm a piggyback off y'all, I feel like us three are kind of in the minority of the NFL community that was actually open to the idea of a good Browns team. Because a lot of other people were just looking at the Browns like, it's the Browns. They can't be good. Like Baker can't be a good quarterback because he's the quarterback of the Browns. Like, this has to fall apart some way, somehow. But we were all like, the way Cleveland is set up with their run game and their defense, this might be one of the best teams in the AFC. And so far, they have not shown that.
Yeah, I agree because they have like literally 3 good running backs in the backfield, and they have OBJ, which he still should be one of the best wide receivers in the league. Is the fact that I've been saying this for like a couple years. Like, I think it's the chemistry issue between Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham, and now it's obvious it's showing and everything. I've been saying like the chemistry's not good on roster. A team can look good, but if that chemistry's not good, it's useless. And so far, it goes to show the chemistry is not working out in Cleveland. And now they're talking about how OBJ made like his future, it's that kind of like maybe like shortening Cleveland and everything. He may get traded, so or like get released. Who knows? So it's just like it's just unfortunate with Cleveland right now and the Browns with everything they overcome from being like the joke of the NFL from actually making the playoffs again. Recently to now to just like back to being very disappointing and just in a slum. But they actually have like the coaching staff and like the roster to be good. It should be like really elite, but they're losing. So it's very disappointing as a Browns fan. And trust me, I know how it feels to be, disappointed with your football team to have potential and just continue to lose. So, yep.
Yeah, that's a shame. But we'll see. Free Odell, because just so much stuff coming out about that. Because the trade deadline just passed. We all thought Odell was going to get traded. He didn't get traded. His father's out here on Instagram making posts about showing showing all the times that Odell was open and Baker didn't throw him the ball. He's playing and he just doesn't look like he's into it. Now they're saying that he's been left out of practice, and Stefanski's like, oh well, he isn't with the team as of right now. So I just think he's going to get cut.
So it's always this drama with Odell, man. It's just sad. He can't catch a break, bro. Yeah.
But he in his defense, he's been hurt. He hasn't he hasn't gotten hold on. He hasn't gotten really gotten any targets. Like I said, he just looks out of it. But moving on, we are leaving the NFL and we are going into the NBA. Who are the best rookies in the league at this moment? Or at least who is your favorite? I should say.
Honestly, my favorite to watch is Jalen Green because I feel like he has the potential to be the face of the franchise out there in Houston. I feel like he's definitely going to win Rookie of the Year. Why the hell are the Wizards down by 16 to the fucking Raptors? Anyway, Jalen Green.
Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, I'm just say Jalen Green though because he's been to me he's been like kind of outshining a lot of the rookies, and of course the argument some people say he should have went number 1 overall over Cade Cunningham, and honestly Cade Cunningham is unfortunate with him because he's been hurt, so haven't really been seeing what he's able to do. So therefore I'm gonna have to go with like Jalen Green because he really is has been making a difference, with that on court presence, and he's looking pretty like the most like solid NBA rookie out of this draft class so far through early in the season. Granted, we're only like 8 games in the NBA, 7 to 8 games in though, but it's still a long season. But still, he's like shown a lot within like those 8 games so far. And yeah, so I'm gonna go with Jalen Green for like the most impressive rookie so far. I give it to him.
All right, so I'm gonna go different from Jalen Green because I've been hearing about when I got two guys, just my favorite guys. Evan Mobley, who is a stud, but this one, he kind of came out. I want to say he came out of nowhere. He was a number 6 pick, but Josh Giddey, he plays for the Thunder. He's from Australia. He was a number 6 pick in this in this draft, and he's basically the way they're talking about him. He's basically like a LaMelo, and right now he's 6th in points per game, 3rd in rebounds, first in assists amongst rookies. And he's 2nd in steals and blocks. He's in a perfect situation because he's on the Thunder with that young team to where he can just play. And they just recently went up against the Lakers. Who else did they play? They played somebody. I'm not seeing people. Yeah, he went up against the Lakers. They just went off a stretch where they played the Lakers, Warriors, and Clippers. And against the Lakers, he went 18 points with 10 assists. Against the Warriors, he went 10 points with 6 assists and 4 rebounds. And against the Clippers, he went 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists. So you go up against those type of opponents, and you're putting up those numbers. And not to mention, again, you're second amongst rookies in steals and blocks. And so you're doing it on defense too. This dude in Oklahoma City, and we talk about the Josh Greens and the Scotty Barnes and the Evan Mobleys and the Jalen Suggs of the world. And maybe when Cade Cunningham gets healthy, we'll talk more about him. Y'all need to look out for this dude Giddy, bruh. Cause he is a baller.
Yeah, shoot. Yeah, I haven't really been paying much attention to OKC though, but I remember he did definitely contribute to that comeback win against LA. And that was pretty impressive against a team like the Lakers. So, I'm gonna definitely be on the lookout for that name as well. Josh Giddey, for sure. And like you said, Evan Mobley, I gotta give him credit. He's been doing a damn thing for sure, Evan Mobley. And that's expected from him too, because he was like kind of draft pick, but yeah, he's been playing like to expectations as well. And hopefully we get to see Cade Cunningham, like do his thing this year because he is just coming off an injury. And yeah, he was looking pretty bad that first game. He went, I believe, 0 for 6 from behind the arc, something like that. He missed all his threes. So yeah, but Jalen Green, Evan Mobley, that's that's fair to say. And Josh Giddey, those are all pretty the most impressive rookies so far early in the NBA season. Yep, I agree.
Yeah. So with that being said, what teams, aside from the Wizards, because I know that's what y'all were going to say, what teams aside from the Wizards?
We down by 14 to the damn Raptors.
I ain't gonna worry about that. What team aside from the Wizards do we need to pay more attention to?
I say the Heat for real, because Miami is every bit of the team that we thought they'd be this season. Because we all said they was basically the bad boys just out on vacation down in the South. And really, that's what they are. They've got a couple nice scores. I believe Miami just last night had 4 different dudes score 20, and they got suffocating defense. So yeah, the Heat are going to be a tough out this year.
I was gonna say the Hornets, honestly, because right now the record they haven't really been playing. They didn't really start off that bad so far. And LaMelo Ball, he's still on the uprise. As you see, we saw he won Rookie of the Year last season, and Darien and Smiles, they know I'm a big LaMelo Ball fan right now. But all seriousness though, he's been been making a big difference down there in Charlotte. And of course, he got hyped up by his father and everything, LeVar Ball, but he's actually been proving it on the court. And like I've been saying, he was going to be the best out of all the Ball brothers. And so far, he's proven it. He's been putting in the work though, and he's making in his own court presence is making a difference for Charlotte. And I think Charlotte overall is not going to be a bad team this season. I think they're actually going to improve from last season and actually make at least be an 8th seed, a 7th seed. In this touchdown even conference. I wouldn't be surprised if they become a 7th seed and actually legit make the playoffs. So I say the Hornets, look out for them, and look out for them in the future too. Especially if they add another young stud like LaMelo Ball to that roster, because overall that roster it's not pretty bad at all. So just be on the lookout for them as a sleeper team this season.
So again, I got 2. One team is the team that's playing the Wizards now, and that's the Raptors.
I know Evan Blow.
I don't think.
I mean, we coming back though. We cut the lead to hold up. It's 9. Oh no, he missed. It's 9.
They're just. I mean, because we all know like they I don't want to say they cleaned house, but they got rid of some pieces and they brought in some young talent like Gary Trent. They got Scotty Barnes. They got Precious Achiuwa, and they still have Pascal Siakam. They're a nice little scrappy young team, and I don't think they'll. I mean, of course, they're not going to go far in the playoffs. Like they're not gonna sit here and be like they're not gonna sit here and fuck around and make an Atlanta Hawks type run where they go all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. But I think they'll, they could win a play-in game, and possibly get into those last two playoff spots and make it tough for a top seeded team. But like I said, they're young, they're scrappy, and Nick Nurse just has them hooping. They have them with it's kind of like what what's his name? West Jr. is doing with the Wizards, where he just has them playing with this defensive mindset. So I'm gonna say Toronto, and then another one is, and I wish Sanfa was here, the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are literally oozing with talent. They're literally oozing with talent. They got D'Lo, Cat, Anthony Edwards. Bro, that team just beat Milwaukee.
And no one's talking about it.
Yeah,
they did, though.
No one's talking about it because it's the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards.
It's the fact that nobody just takes them seriously. This is funny because it's sad because someone just joke about them.
Cat is a top 3 big man.
Okay, never mind. I'll shut up, Brad.
I think
we cut the lead to 5, by the way.
Is a top 3 big man. Good job. And I just think I know it's early, but put a little bit of respect on the Timberwolves, please. Sanfa.
You know what? I'm gonna go as far as saying, and Sanfa could probably back me up on it, can probably vouch and verify for this when he gets on. The rest of this season is officially the Timber Bitches retirement tour.
They have a lot of front office changes,
The Timber Bitches farewell
I feel as though they have
tour.
a culture. I feel as though they have like a culture change within the Timber in Minnesota. They do have like a positive, future ahead for sure, because it's the Minnesota Timberwolves. No one really takes them as seriously because the Timberwolves have been like the butt jokes of the NBA for the past few years though. But like Darien said, they do have like a legit roster now who's actually has potential to be pretty good if they can get it get it together and be coached well. So yeah, I never really hated the Timberwolves. It's just that I never took them seriously.
All right, so there's a little game I got for you guys, and I'm gonna give off 5 teams in the NBA, and I want you to answer: are they real? Are they contenders, or are they fake? Are they pretenders? So the first team that I'm gonna give you is, hold on. I'm gonna give you the New York Knicks. They're 5-2, and they're 3rd in the East. Granted, 7 games in, but the New York Knicks, contenders or pretenders?
I think the Knicks are contenders, for 2 reasons. Number one, because of that defense, and we keep saying it. We keep saying it, Darien. Offense sells tickets, but defense wins games. So the Knicks not only have that defense, they know how they want to win. So that's crucial early on. And number 2, outside of Milwaukee, and Brooklyn, is there anybody in the East that's like a front runner? No, it's once you get past 2, it's like a log jam from 3 to I'd say about 8. And the Knicks are set up to be toward the top of that log jam. I'm saying contender.
Okay, so you got contender. What about you, Mark?
Shoot, man, this was 2 seasons ago. I would probably say pretender, but I'm gonna go in and say contender because based on what the Knicks did like last season, we're seeing that momentum carry early on into this season. Actually, I think the Knicks, they finally like got it together. That Julius Randle finally has like that squad around him and is finally playing up to like his full potential. And he's leading the team along with RJ Barrett and other young, core. So I might just say contender because we seen the Knicks like turning around late last season and now it's carrying on in this season. So something's definitely clicking right now. And I can actually say, yeah, I can take the Knicks seriously. So I'm gonna go in and say contender. I can't say pretender.
Yeah, I have them as contender. I'm with you, Evan. They have that defensive mindset and they look much better offensively this year. Okay. Contender or pretender? The Utah Jazz. 6-1, top of the Western Conference, but we all know they had the best record in the NBA last season. They got bounced by the Clippers in the second round. So, starting the first 7 games off at 6-1, the Utah Jazz, contenders or pretenders?
I'm gonna say pretenders, and I don't know what it is about the Jazz or like the whole situation, but something tells me these guys are going to just fall off the face of the earth on once we get past the All-Star break. I don't know why. Don't ask me to explain that, but I just feel like they about to fall.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go in and say pretender because, like we said, we seen the Jazz like finish like at the top, like with a really good record and just end up losing in the playoffs where they just don't like go all the way and to the finals. And I honestly don't think they have that roster to be in the finals. Donovan Mitchell, he's a stud, like he's an all-star, but he needs like that another piece around him. And I'm gonna just say pretenders because the West is a very like tough conference as well. And I don't see the Jazz just beating like certain teams and like what certain top teams in the West, like Phoenix, or even like I would say the Lakers, and we're fully healthy in the 7-game series. So I'm gonna just say pretender for now because this 6-1 start is not really going to mean much if they can make it to the NBA Finals.
I got them as I don't know what it is about Utah. They're like what Milwaukee was for like the last 2 or 3 seasons. They're a great regular season team, but they're not really that good in the playoffs. And you mentioned teams like the Lakers, the Nets, and the Bucks. They're built for the playoffs. So although those 3 teams are starting off slow, like they always say this, in the NFL, all you gotta do is get in. So with Brooklyn, LA and Milwaukee, all you gotta do is get in. Contender or pretender? The Phoenix Suns. They are even 3-3 through 6 games, sitting at that last 8 spot, first play-in spot in the Western Conference. Of course, they made the finals last year. They have a little bit of drama with them as they're not trying to sign DeAndre Ayton. They basically have the same squad this year as they did last year. So through these 6 games that they've played, are they contenders or pretenders?
I'm probably definitely going to come back to this, but for the moment, I'm going to say pretender because I'm going to say that because this is a young team still, but now they have to deal with a target being on their back because they're the defending Western Conference champions. And now everybody in the West is going to want to come out every night when the Suns are on the floor and kick their ass. Mm-hmm. So I want to see how they're gonna deal with that. So I'm gonna say pretender for now, but I will come back to this later.
Yeah, most likely I'm gonna probably be like you, Evan, because under the circumstances right now, I'm gonna say pretender because this is not. Granted, they literally just got finished coming from the finals, but as of right now, this is basically the same Phoenix Suns roster we saw last year. But right now, with some of the drama going on, they're not really. All the momentum is not there, and the West is very tough this year, as I mentioned before. And they do have that target on the back because the fact that they just made the finals. So therefore, other teams are looking at them as that team to beat. and they still have a young core who still is like developing and still needs to get it together. And we don't know DeAndre Ayton's future and with Phoenix, and that's unfortunate for the Suns because I don't know why you wouldn't want to keep, DeAndre Ayton. There's no way you should like let him walk or like not extend him because he definitely does make a difference on the court for the Suns. He was a big part of that, Phoenix Suns NBA Finals run. And Chris Paul needs that big man, to help facilitate, help him facilitate on the floor. And so I'm gonna just say pretender for now. If the Suns don't get it together, they have to get it together fast.
I will say contender. I think that they still have Chris Paul. They still have that leadership. Yes, they have a target on their backs. Yes, they've been popping shit. Yes, they just won the Western Conference, and teams are they're coming for that ass, a la Los Angeles Lakers. And I think they're up for it. I don't think they're gonna go back, but again, weirder things have happened. I think, they're sitting down here at the 8th spot. We're 6 games in. They'll climb up. They'll get it together. I think they'll be all right. Moving on, going back into the East. Contender or pretender, the Washington Wizards. 5-2. Best start that they've had to begin a regular season, about 15, 16 years. They're sitting at the 4th spot in the Eastern Conference. They're playing right now. I don't know if they're winning or not.
We're down by 9.
They're down by 9 to the Toronto Raptors. They traded away Russell Westbrook in the offseason, brought in Kyle Kuzma, Contavious Caldwell-Pope, and Montrezl Harrell, along with Justin Holiday. And who else did they bring in? They got the rookie Corey Kispert and I'm gonna get it right one day. But contender or pretender, the Washington Wizards.
The way we're playing right now, I cannot say contender, dog, because we look like ass right now. But like on the whole, I really feel like contender though. I'm gonna still say it, even though we look like ass tonight. Because again, outside of Milwaukee and Brooklyn, it ain't too many. Like it's a log jam, like I said. So like the Wizards are definitely going to be somewhere in the middle of that because Wes Unsell's got this team buying in, playing better defense, and they're deeper. Like the depth of this team is going to be like a handful for teams to compete against. So I'm going to say contender.
I can't really say contender. I might just have to say pretender because like Washington teams, we've seen this before with most Washington teams, especially us. We see them like have this hot start and then just like simply just fall off the map. Where like they just become irrelevant. And with the Wizards, I give them credit; they have been starting off pretty good. But how long is this going to like happen? We're only 8 games in, so like, are they going to continue to play like this up until Christmas? Because that's when we really see what teams are like, either like playoff worthy or not. So I just don't see Washington really carrying this momentum along with like, these other these other Eastern Conference teams, like because you still have other teams like the Heat and even the Hornets. Honestly, I don't see them really like being better than some of these other like teams like that in the East. Some of these sleeper teams in the East. So yeah, I'm gonna just say pretender for the Wizards. Honestly, I don't see the momentum carrying for them, but they have been starting off pretty good, so I'll give them credit with that. And even the Sixers, when the Sixers when we get it together, the Wizards ain't going to be better than the Sixers, honestly. Even though we're dealing with a lot of drama ourselves, but to be realistic, yeah, I don't see Washington just being better, and that's like better than them. So yeah, that's my honest take.
I agree with you, Mark. Although you didn't have to go the DC sports route, that was a little harsh.
But, that's true, though. I mean,
I know what you're saying, but I agree.
Because like the fans get like overhyped because like we see it every year. That's why I'm just like, okay, they're happy and just like, yeah, y'all don't get your expectations up too high because it's still Washington, bro.
I will say this. The Wizards have a different attitude, this year than they did last year. This is the most defense I've seen them play as a team in years. They look as good as anybody on defense. They're a young team, and they're gonna have games where they're just gonna frustrate you, like how I'm sure they're frustrating Evan right now. And
Gafford just got an and one. We down by 7.
Oh, well, there we go. So yeah, and even still, like, they still have to get some guys back. Thomas Bryant's still out. They still got to get Rui back. Rui will be back soon. Bryant should be back towards, at the latest, the end of next month, beginning of the year. But like what Mark just said, like, can they keep this up? Like, it's an 82 game season, and out of the the teams with over 5 wins in the East, I look at the Wizards, Toronto, and Charlotte, and I'm like, okay, like, can you keep up this level of play for the remainder of the season? And I think I don't know who I was talking to, if I was listening to a podcast. I think I was talking to my father, and he was just like, at the beginning of the season, you're gonna see certain teams go off because they're so young and they have those fresh legs, and they're just gonna start running. So you're gonna see teams like OKC beating up on the Lakers. You're gonna see Brooklyn struggling out of the gate because they're older. They understand that it's not a race; it's a marathon. I don't think the Wizards are gonna stay at the 4th spot. I think they will. They're definitely gonna be a playoff team, but they're not gonna stay in that 4th spot. But I just don't like. This is the year where they'll be good. They'll be fun to watch, but I don't think they're gonna do much in the playoffs. They probably won't. I don't see them winning the series. So
They're probably a 1st-round exit. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see them winning a series, and we can revisit this. We can. But moving on, contender or pretender? Memphis Grizzlies. They
That's a good one.
are 4-3, sitting at 5th in the West. Ja Morant is playing on top of his head, and he's basically saying, "We coming." Are they contenders or are they pretenders?
I'm gonna say the contenders because I think this is Ja Morant's year. Because I remember I've been saying, I said on earlier podcasts before, I believe Ja Morant is a future MVP in the NBA. That may be, I don't know, that's really a hot take now, but I think one season he may win NBA MVP because he's very young, but he has that demeanor as that that leadership demeanor, and I like seeing that from young players where they don't let the lack of experience in the NBA, the lack of season experience in the NBA go to show they don't need to play all these years in the NBA to have veteran leadership. And Ja Morant is always showing if you have talent, you can be the veteran of a team and be the leader of a team. So, and the Grizzlies are playing solid overall, and Ja Morant is just doing a damn thing. And honestly, I think they can definitely make some noise in that Western Conference. So I say contenders because the Grizzlies, hey, they're pretty good and they're pretty legit. So I have contenders.
I'm going to say contenders because Memphis is still that frustrating team they were last year. Plus, I feel like Ja Morant, once we get further along in the season, is going to get some MVP votes. He's going to be in that MVP conversation. Plus, I honestly don't know if it's 4 teams in the West that's better than the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
They're not the best, but I don't know if I can name 4 that's better than them.
Yeah, it's not too many better than them. Yeah, the Grizzlies, they're the series. They're making noise this season. As long as Ja Morant stays healthy and the overall team stays healthy, I say the contenders. I think this is Ja Morant's year.
Yeah, I say they're content. Yeah, they'll make a little bit of noise. They'll make a little bit of noise. John Morant is definitely taking a leap, and I think that they're building something over there. The Grizzlies are Miami Heat-esque. That's what they're turning into. Like they're just gritty. They're hard nosed. Their defense first. They can beat you in all kinds of ways. They can run up and down. They can shoot. Um, and they got that dog of a leader. And we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Let me pull these teams up real quick. I'm here bullshitting. All right. Contender or pretender? This is 5, so I'll give one more after this one. Contender or pretender? The Philadelphia 76ers.
Haha. That's a
They
good one.
are 5-2, sitting at 5th in the Eastern Conference. I think Joel Embiid is hurt. Still missing Ben Simmons, but 5-2, pretty good, fairly good start. Contender or pretender?
This is so unpredictable because Philly is dealing with like a lot of shit right now, like, with like off the court stuff. So yeah, and as a fan, but man, this is a hard one for me. Hey, I'm gonna let Evan go first. Evan, what you think, bro? I'm gonna hear y'all say.
First of all, Toronto got away with a goaltend. First of all.
Uh-huh.
Second of all, I just feel like the Sixers got too many distractions, like with the Ben Simmons stuff, and then you're counting on Embiid to be healthy, and we know that he's not going to be healthy the whole season, or at least we can't really count on that. I think they're pretenders.
Yeah, and it's tough for me to say, yeah, like that's why I'm like, right now we have this good start, and I'm proud of what the Sixers are doing. Our our other stars have been stepping up, and our bench has been stepping up, but I don't know if this momentum is going to carry on. Like I kind of like what I said about the Wizards with the Sixers. It's like, damn, with all these distractions with Ben Simmons and Embiid's health, can this like momentum carry on? We even need like, let's say we're going to need Embiid to stay healthy, and then Ben Simmons, I don't know if he's ever going to come back. Most likely not. Then it's like, damn, man, I don't know. We can't be like a contender if we just simply don't have, like all of our stars, like, playing, when we need them available. So I'm gonna have to say pretenders, man. It's tough for me to say as a Philly fan. Even over with the 5-2 start too, we have been playing pretty good. I'm proud, but it's like, damn, are we gonna is that momentum gonna carry similar to like Washington?
Yeah, I mean, this is one we can come back to, cause
oh, for sure, I'm coming back to this one.
this is one we can come back to. I'm thinking we should do this like every week, every other week, or like we should do this like every month, because this is actually kind of cool. And I can't wait till we get Sanfa in here to, we can really dive deep into this. But yeah, for right now, I'll say pretenders. I came into this season, I didn't think Philly was going to do what they did last year. I think last year was their best chance. I did like the addition of Drummond. It gives them some more size, but they're not going to be able to space the floor as much. I like that kid Maxey. I like Tybal. You still got Seth Curry, who's been lighting it up.
Right.
I think. Yeah, I don't know.
That's what makes it all more frustrating, because like literally we have all the pieces, bro. The thing is, we have all the pieces, but between Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, like literally the two stars of the team are like just like one dealing with injuries and other just dealing with his own like mental battles. It's like it's just tough, man. It just sucks, But hey, man, it just is what it is right now. But hey, like, is a light at the end of the tunnel? I don't know, but right now, yeah, it's just been the ongoing drama, bro. It's tough, man, with the Philly to say that right now.
Yeah, so let's just see where it goes. We'll revisit this as months go on. The last one. It's going to be a Western Conference team, because I've done 3 East teams. The last one. Contender or pretender. I already know the answer to this. Actually, no. Contender or pretender? The Los Angeles Lakers.
I'm gonna say contender. I'm not gonna say
Contender.
pretenders.
That was too easy.
Contender, yeah.
Okay.
Contenders.
All right.
Yeah.
I just figured we did all of our other favorite teams. All right, let me pick another one. That was too easy. All right. Contender or pretender? What's one? Okay. Contender or pretender? The Los Angeles Clippers.
I'm gonna say pretenders. Like, and the reason I'm gonna say pretenders,
contender.
I'm gonna say pretenders because the reason why I say pretenders because, like I said, the Clippers they get just all this hype every single year, and for like, oh, are they that team of LA? And it just, I think it's just unfortunate for them because like they just play literally in the same arena in the same city as the Lakers. So, but yet they get this hype as in, oh yeah, so finally making the finals this year. Though they have Kawhi Leonard, they have Paul George. This roster, like like I said, on paper, any roster can look pretty good, like a championship team. But do they actually make the finals? Nope, they don't, and they haven't won anything. So I'm gonna say pretenders because the Clippers, they never like gone all the way, and their like history just shows that. So pretenders for me.
I'm gonna go contender because they're another team where they brought back basically the same squad they had last year, except their main guy is hurt. And
See, that's the thing, like that health too. Yup.
Kawhi, I think Kawhi could be back before the end of the season. And they're another one of those teams. All they have to do is get in. That's all they have to do. They don't have to be a top 5 seed. Same with the Lakers. They don't have to be a top 5 seed. All they got to do is get in. I mean, you would like to have home court advantage, but again, just get into the playoffs healthy. Get your guy back healthy.
Healthy, yeah, that's the thing.
And then,
can that happen?
And
Kawhi always gets injured at key moments, like
And then let's see what you do. Because if Kawhi was not injured, they would have been in the finals and would have had a great chance to win it.
It just sucks for Kawhi because like he's probably like one of the best like fundamental basketball players we've seen in NBA history. So it was like, dang man, but his health, cool man. Hopefully he can bounce back though because he is like definitely an exciting player to see for sure. And it's not like me. It's not even me like me hating on the Clippers. It's just like, bro, it's like, come on now, just hype they get, like, and really from the players, like that has something to do with Patrick Beverly and Lou Williams there when the Clippers, hyping up the team and stuff like that. I feel as though they enable a lot of fans to like really get them talking, hyping up the Clippers. So it's like, come on now, y'all did all of this just like not to win anything. Come on, get better, man.
Yes. And so I'm about to share the screen real quick because yes. Fuck, how do I do this? Okay, here we go. Do it like that. Oh yes, let's go. Haha. Okay. So what we're about to do is have y'all looked at the city unis?
I haven't looked at all of them yet. Not all
I'm
of them.
looking
I
at
have
the
seen a
Wizards
couple.
now, and it's actually
I'm gonna
pretty
look them
nice.
up now. Let me still got all dirty. Let me see if I can like or like during
I
the year.
saw the Pelicans too, and they got done dirty.
Well, I'm putting them up now.
Pelicans got done horrendously.
I can imagine. It's New Orleans. What can you really do with like the Pelicans, like format, like
they could have brought back Mardi Gras.
Yeah, that would have made perfect sense.
All right. So can y'all see it well?
Yeah, I can see it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so these are the city unis for this year. What is your top 3?
Let me see. Look at them.
All
let
right,
me get a closer look real quick.
My top 3 that I'm gonna say right now, I like the Spurs. I like the Hornets, and then for the third one, I'm gonna say the Rockets.
Yeah, I
So
like how the Rockets went back to that early 2000s look.
So for mine, so for one, I'm gonna say the Hornets one, which I'm gonna have to cop a Charlotte one because that blue is beautiful though. I give them that. And for two, I'm gonna go ahead with Denver. I like what they did with that little design. That little design on the side. That's different. It gives like the jersey a little bit more pop with the color. The color scheme. We don't see too much of that in the NBA these days. And see for my third one, for shoot, hey, such for me saying this though, but I'm gonna give ATO the third one. I like what they did with that Hawk, that Hawks logo right in the middle of the jersey where it says above Atlanta though. I'm gonna give ATO that third one. That's pretty dope because they had to edit the big logo like all across the front line of the jersey. So I'm gonna say ATO.
Yeah, what I like is that the Bucks, Pacers, Hawks, Rockets, Nets, and the Wolves. Shut up! I'm not talking about the Pacers, mate.
I definitely have to copy that Charlotte joint for sure.
But I don't know how. But Siri heard me say Pacers, and
She's
shut
spying on
up.
you.
Anyways, but yeah, the Pacers, Hawks, Rockets. I'm gonna have to edit that out. That just made me so mad. The Pacers, Hawks, Bucks, Nets, Spurs, Rockets. They all went with they paid homage. Oh yeah, and the Sixers. They all paid homage to like their older jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that. New York kind of did it too. New York kind of did it too.
Spurs definitely did that, yeah, with San Antonio. They needed that though, something different.
But my favorite,
those old Spurs colors. Yeah.
but my favorite ones, my favorite three, I'm gonna have to say is Atlanta, San Antonio, and Brooklyn. I like the classic look that they brought out.
That's wearing those right now, right? I think I'm looking at the game. I think they're wearing those uniforms right now. The Brooklyn playing the Hawks. That was ESPN.
Oh, the Hawks are wearing the city unis too?
Yeah, I think they're wearing theirs right now. Yeah.
Oh,
I think the shorts have the stars on the side. I think they're those old based the old throwback look or whatever too. The basically it's kind of like a throwback look, the throwback, and it's more the colors are more bright, kind of sort of like a more modern, brightened up blue with the Nets.
Right.
They did. Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me stop.
Yeah, it's not bad this year though. The city jerseys, yeah.
Yeah, so got that out the way. So that's the last of the sports topics. So on to some cultural stuff, and I know Evan has very strong feelings about this. Should Thanksgiving be more festive like Halloween and Christmas?
I mean, truth be told, I feel like it's not necessarily the festiveness of Thanksgiving, but more so that people celebrate Christmas in November. Then we get to December, it's actually time for Christmas, and these same people decide, you know what? I'm over it. I'm tired of all the Christmas songs. I'm tired of seeing the Christmas lights. I'm tired of all of this. I'm ready for New Year's Day. Mind you, they get to this point by December 5th. So it's and then when Christmas Day rolls around, these same people talking about it doesn't feel like Christmas. Well, that's because you used up all your damn Christmas energy a month early. So it's not necessarily that people should celebrate Thanksgiving more. It's that they start celebrating Christmas too early.
They use their holly jolly
too early,
like fucking Halloween. But
yeah, it's I think the marketing is way too early sometimes for Christmas, and it's just capitalism. It's just getting people to get the deals, early holiday deals. Black Friday is coming up soon because basically after Thanksgiving, Black Friday is the start of really the big time holiday shopping. A lot of people do early Christmas shopping at the end of November. So Yeah, I can understand how, like, I guess at the very beginning of November, I guess the Christmas, marketing is a little bit like kind of early. But hey, it all leads up, connects, within like the back-to-back months. So it's like I think Thanksgiving just ties right into Christmas since it's like all in season basically. So eh, I think Thanksgiving it's still pretty cool. I mean, Thanksgiving brings family together. That's what I like about it. Last year I couldn't really do that because of the COVID and stuff like that. But yeah, Thanksgiving overall, I have like some pretty good Thanksgivings in the past, and it's pretty exciting because before my family would actually sometimes set the tree even as early as like around Thanksgiving sometimes. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool for what it is, and it doesn't have to really be as festive, as I say Christmas.
Yeah, shout out Jazzy because she's definitely one that celebrates Christmas like right after Halloween. However, she Jazz if you let Jazzy do it, Jazzy will celebrate Christmas in June and May. Like when it's warm out, she'll be blasting Christmas music if you let her. Um, but I wouldn't say it should be more festive. You know, I think it kind of does suck that people. I used to hate it when people would just bypass Thanksgiving because I thought Thanksgiving was a great holiday. Like you get to go around family and eat. But that was me as a little kid, and then as I get older and I start to understand people, and I start to realize, okay, I see why people aren't really.
Like, bro, when the old heads start talking about politics, leave the room.
Oh yes,
Leave
Yeah, for
the
sure.
room
hey,
Yeah.
immediately.
that's usually around the that's usually around the fourth quarter. The Cowboys already getting their asses whooped, and I'm already sad, so I'm upstairs just not watching the game. So that's usually I'm usually gone way before then. But but I mean but like Mark said, I liked going to going down to Richmond, going to my grandmother's house on Thanksgiving, and the whole family just shows out. You know, Evan, make sure you mute your mic. You didn't.
I ain't say nothing.
I know.
I wasn't saying nothing.
I just saw it coming. But but yeah, when the whole family just used to show out and this, that, and the fourth. But as I've gotten older, I began to realize why some people dread Thanksgiving and why some people hate their family. So, I mean, it is what it is at this point.
And another thing, another PSA, and I'm gonna bring this up when we get closer to Christmas. I mean, not Christmas, Thanksgiving. If you don't watch football, don't make that my problem. Like, don't.
Yes, thank you.
Do not make that my problem.
Thank
Like,
you.
first of all, the second the parade is up, we're gonna turn the parade on for the kids if they there in the morning. We're gonna cut the parade on for the kids, but the second it gets to noon, we cutting on the Lions game. I don't care if it is the Lions. Football is football. And also, by the time we get to the Cowboys game, I would have definitely explained to you all of the rules by that point. So don't ask me about nothing. Just let me watch the damn game. All right.
Yeah, I'm at a point where it's just like number one, like you said, when when football comes on, when football comes on, I don't care if you watch football or not. I'm watching the damn game. Like I didn't had enough of
You don't
seeing.
like it, then you host Thanksgiving next year. We all gonna stream this. We all gonna go in your living room and stream the joint.
Exactly. I'm gonna find some way to watch it, but I'm just saying I ain't trying to sit here and watch Mickey Mouse float down Times Square for fucking 3 hours. So when the football is on, you watch, and well, I'm cutting the game on. So I don't want to hear them like, you really watching football? That's what you do on Thanksgiving. That's the only thing that's on Thanksgiving.
Honestly, yeah.
So it's just like deal with it. Fuck most people that complain, like the aunts and cousins and sisters, I'm like, just think about it. You get to watch grown, muscular men in tights run around hitting each other. What do you not like about that? So it's kind of just deal with it. But what was it? Oh yeah, I think that's about it. That's about it. Next one. Mark, this is your bag. How bad will men have it this fall/winter with Summer Walker, SZA, and Adele dropping within weeks of each other? I think it's gonna be days actually. I think Summer's dropping on the 5th. I want to say SZA's dropping the week after, maybe a few days after, and then Adele's dropping sometime in November. So I don't know if we got any girls, I mean, I don't, but I don't know if y'all got any girls that y'all talking to. You got any low-key girlfriends or whatever. But if she start hating you, sometime in the middle of the month.
For one, that's actually a wild lineup. But shout out to Adele because I haven't really heard about her in a while. She hasn't really been dropping, so I'm surprised to hear she's even dropping music at all. But that lineup, this culture is, it's probably going to be a different kind of winter because you know how like social media is and stuff like that, and the culture is when it comes to music. They're going to drop these songs, give those women, this confidence or like this. Maybe I want to say city girl mindset, but probably just like hot girl, I guess, or like hot girl women, maybe I don't know if you want to call it that kind of mindset. And that's a lot of music dropping for the women, and it's probably going to be some good music for the women as well. So hey, it may be pretty rough for guys, and if they do, if you do are in a relationship, more power to you. I'm happy for you. Hopefully one day I do get in a full relationship. No time soon though, but it might be pretty rough for guys this winter. We're gonna be hearing, like I see, a lot of lyrics and a lot of quotes from these three artists, like that are three very good talented artists dropping. So this winter. So hey, it's gonna be interesting.
Look, Summer just dropped a record with JT called X for a Reason.
Like, bro,
if that and I also just want to say all of Summer dropped her track list. She kind of did like a Kendrick thing because you know how Kendrick had the whole Untitled thing.
Yup, I like Untitled, just like straight up
Summer.
Let the music do the talking.
The titles to Summer's songs are all dates.
Ooh,
all dates. Like
that sounds so toxic, bro. That sounds very toxic. That's the issue. Like, it's like that's gonna get women to be very toxic. See, the music that's gonna make women act very toxic this winter. It's gonna be wild, bro. Oh my goodness.
All I know is that I can just see the next girl I talk to just gonna be just having attitude, bro. I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be a rough winter.
Bro, music is powerful. Like
for any dude in a relationship, it's gonna be rough.
Yeah, like shoot, better hope like your boo that you're being like sleep in with. Better hope she ain't sneaking off somewhere else or whatever.
Oh no, it's not shit. It's not even that. It's you better whatever ass kissing you got to do. Make sure you get her all the whatever her love language is. You better speak it fluently.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
that better not be
for a guy. You better not show nonchalantness, bro. You better not be nonchalant right now. Right now is not time to be nonchalant.
It better not be your second to dare. Came right
in the holidays.
You came
and the holidays are coming up too, bro. Like so, that's another thing. Holidays are coming up too, so I was like, yo.
All right, Sanfa. So I just asked the question to Mark. How bad? Because you basically just missed all the sports topics, but it's cool because you came in at a very good time.
Okay.
How bad will men have it this fall/winter with Summer Walker, SZA, and Adele dropping this month? Now, before you go, Summer Walker just dropped a song called X for a Reason. Then she dropped her track list, and it's all dates, like a fucking journal diary entry.
Yikes. Oh.
Oh, that sounds like a hard list, man. That's yikes. I don't even keep up with Summer Walker like that, so that's gonna be yikes. I don't know what to say about that. That's gonna be hard. But what else did
I,
you say? You
I can
said
barely
Summer
hear
Walker.
you. Hold
I
up.
said Summer Walker, SZA, and Adele.
Yikes. Really?
Yeah, Adele's dropping music. She just dropped a single. I want to say
Oh yeah,
about a week or so ago.
it was last week. It was last week. It was all over the place. It blew up everywhere. But can you guys hear me good?
Yeah. You good?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you now. Yeah, I think the last one got cut off. Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure because I'm using my headphones. I'm not using my computer like usual. I didn't feel like setting it up. I was like, you know what, bro, I'm good this week. But yeah, it's gonna be rough. We're gonna have a rough season, folks. So just prepare. Let us prepare ourselves, man. But what else, guys? I sadly didn't have time to go over the topic. I've been so busy, man.
No,
Busy.
it's
Okay.
fine. We
Now
basically
we
went
covered just
over.
about everything. Yeah.
Yeah, we basically went over like all the sports topics. We talked about Aaron Rodgers and Henry Ruggs week 8. We talked some contenders, pretenders, which that's something we should do at least like once a month. To just talk about I'll explain it off camera.
Okay. Sure.
Off mic. Right now, we talked about the city unis. We talked about the rookies, biggest disappointments in football. So yeah, now we're basically on the tail end of the podcast. We have about, because we just talked about SZA. We've kind of been breezing through this stuff, bro.
That's good face. Love to see it.
Yeah, we
So
talked about the holiday stuff too.
so we have one more topic, and then we have a draft.
Oh yeah, this is the QB draft.
Yeah, so we have one more topic, and then we have the draft.
Let's
So
make
the
this last
next
topic real brief.
so
Yeah.
the next topic is, who cheats more, men or women?
I'm gonna just say 50-50, bro. I'm gonna just say 50-50. Because let's be real, in this generation and this culture, I'm gonna just be real brief with this. We've seen like a lot of like men and women just be just as equally not shit. Like, I'm just so tired of like just the whole women and men generalized statement. Like, if we had more time, we could get into this a little bit deeper though. But as far as time's sake though, like honestly, I'd hate to say it. I think it's really been 50-50 over like the years, what I've been seeing in this generation. It's all just been just as bad between some of these toxic relationships and the way just it's been like praise of like the way cheating is actually somewhat glorified these days. We've seen it on social media, like Sanfa, Darien. I know y'all have seen it, like the way some people actually justify cheating sometimes. So I think it's 50-50, but I'm gonna let y'all get more into that one though. I've seen it on both parts. I can't even say women ain't shit or men ain't shit, man, because I've seen men on our part do just as bad. So yeah, man, I'm gonna say 50-50.
Very good,
Okay.
safe answer.
This is gonna be a hot take. Probably make some people mad, but I think ladies, they do it more because one, they're more slick, they're more underhanded, they're more sneaky. That's just a fact. Like, we're not even talking about statistics, just a fact, man. Like, ladies, they know how to keep stuff closer to the chest. Not say anything. Like, they could be messing with 3, 4 whole dudes. They ain't not gonna say anything. Most likely the guy, because us guys, not everyone, but a lot of guys, we have a bragging problem. Especially the ones that's not mature. If we get some punani, get some action, we talking about it most of the time. We gotta talk about with our guys. We gotta compare experiences.
It's usually within the squad though, but yeah, I hear what you're saying though. Yeah,
It's usually within the
But
bros.
everybody talks.
But everybody talks.
that is true. Yeah.
Females are less likely to talk about that than the guys do. So I say one because, like I said, they don't get caught a lot of the time. So I'm just gonna say that just to be the one that says the hot take because we all can't be neutral. So
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. I mean, this conversation can go real deep. We can go far into this, like honestly, but it's just like, yeah,
Nah, we got to do the QB draft. That's the
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have more time.
I mean,
yeah,
we don't have to do the draft today. We don't have to.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
already like
not
9:30.
bro.
Yeah, like that.
I did. GM Sanfa will not be appearing for this, so we can probably try to do it next week.
Yeah, I'll just save the draft for
or maybe even the week after, because next week we try to save it safe for the week after. Because next week we're gonna have Green, we're gonna have D-Man from the men's roundtable circuit, and we're gonna have Carey. We're gonna have 3 people.
Oh yeah.
So,
It's gonna be packed. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a packed show.
Yeah, so I don't think we should do it next week, because next week probably gonna be a mix of sports and a lot of social media.
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna keep the sports to a minimum.
Yeah.
But all right. So to answer the question, because I asked it, I saw that Will and Jada shit, man. Because Jada then came out, started talking crazy about Will again.
Did y'all talk
I didn't even hear about that.
Nah.
I didn't even pay attention to that.
I mean, me and Evan talked about it a little bit before the show started, but before we get into that, because I definitely did forget about it until now, but I agree with Mark in the sense of it's 50-50. However, niggas are stupid and they get caught more.
Yup.
But if we really want to if we want to get into cheating, like this is why you say that we can get real deep into this. There are different types of cheating. Women emotionally cheat more than men do. Like I'll say like physical cheating is 50-50, but emotionally cheating, women do that more than men. And when I say emotional cheating, I mean like you're with, like, I could be dating a girl, but she's talking heavy to this other dude, spewing all her feelings and her heart to him, but her physical being is with me. You know, that's basically what I'm talking about.
And that goes even to deep what I was saying. Sorry to cut you off there. We can go deep. I'm down to go deep. I'm down to break it down. Like it's so annoying how, and I swear this is so crazy that we're gonna talk about relationships. So number one, I'll always believe this: the relationship is only ever in danger when the woman is not happy. When the man's not happy, we have to suck it up and deal with it. But oh, she's unhappy. Oh man, it's DEFCON 5. It's over. It's starting to be over. Oh my goodness. So that's number one. That's a fact. And number two, the thing I can't stand, and I'm gonna go on add on to Mark's point, that in this generation, bro, that we live in, people don't like talking. Like, say like you're in a relationship, right? And you're unhappy with your woman. You know, things aren't as sweet as you thought it would be. Things aren't smooth. So instead of talking, most times not, and this is not even a gender thing. This is not a man or woman thing. This is just how it is. They will end up either cheating or talking to someone else or emotionally stepping out of a relationship and not having to talk to, like, listen, I don't think this is gonna work. I think we should break up. I think we should let it be. I don't know why our generation does that. Why can't we just have simple conversation? Hey, I thought this would be a good thing. I'm not feeling it no more. I think we should break up so we'll be free to see other people, talk to people. Stop this open relationship shit. Because open relationships, all I have to say is Will and Jada, and you see how open relationships never work. They won't work. It will not work. It's just like, if you're unhappy, to say unhappy, have a conversation. And if you want to work on getting better after that, that's a beautiful thing. Go ahead and do that. But have the conversation, have that open outlet of, dang, I'm not happy like I thought it would be. I'm not fulfilled like I thought it would be. I'm not feeling it like I thought I would have. So the whole men versus women cheating is really a deeper struggle of, we all need to be better at just communicating. at just conversating with each other and understanding what comes from that conversation. So that's what
Yeah,
happened.
I agree with you, honestly. Yeah, because like this generation, like you said, Sanfa, people are too afraid to communicate these days. It's like simply talk it out. They'd rather just go on doing it, doing it about themselves. Like, oh, well, this person did this.
Like
I
it's
feel
not
this
even
kind of way.
toxic.
Oh, I'm
I
gonna just
don't.
go ahead and do this. Like trying to justify like bad actions. It's stupid. Like just simply talk it out. Like talk how you feel. If there's something that's like bothering you, like talk it out. Yeah, but instead of talking it out, people want to bottle up their emotions. They pretend everything is good. Like they said, we glorify like this toxic shit and everything when it be on these games. And then that's when shit hits the fan though. It's just like, bro, there's certain ways you go about certain things. You just don't do certain shit for people you genuinely care about and that you have strong feelings for. This generation is so weird and it's just messed up. That's why I'm gonna say like I don't even want to even catch feelings for nobody anytime soon because people get done dirty these days. It's sad. It's like, bro, you really care about somebody, you just don't do certain shit though. But people are trying to like justify it. And I think a lot of these celebrities have a lot to do with it these days in this culture because these celebrities are not perfect people and are not really a lot of people really to always look up to. I hate to say people, sorry, millennial Twitter, but it's true.
And I want to piggyback off of that. Number one, first and foremost, as scary as it is to, like, relationships are fucking scary, dog. They really are. Like,
I agree.
Because you have to put a lot of trust in this one person to just not hurt you. And in a lot of ways it can go bad. Like it's not just cheating that can, but we can that's another story for another day. That's another topic for another day, I should say. But in terms of like this, not even just cheating, just this toxic culture when it comes to dating. I tweeted earlier, I said that dating in this generation is an emotional tug of war. Because it's like this. You care too much, you're clingy, you're annoying, thirsty, you're desperate, blah, 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 blah. Scares the person away. You nonchalant about shit. You don't care, you're wasting my time. You don't really appreciate me. You don't care about me, blah, 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 blah. You try and find that middle. And plus, if you care too much, you're more susceptible to getting played. But we live in the world where and really women get away with this more than men do, where they can do some foul shit and say some foul shit to you, but because you did something that made them feel a way, don't matter how small it is, you did something that made them feel a way. Now they're like, oh yeah, fuck you. I'ma just unleash my wrath. You're about to see how bad it can get. And because they say that they felt a certain kind of way. We live in a world where you can't say, yo, you're tripping. Yo, that's bullshit. Yo, you're overreacting. Because people are saying the way I feel is how I feel. How I feel is not wrong. There's a reason to why I'm feeling this way, and my feelings were triggered by something you did. So think about if a man cheated on his woman. Like a man cheats on his girl, and his reason for cheating is because, oh, well, I called you twice yesterday, and you didn't pick up. And whole T, oh, girl is at work. Like, come on now. But he can sit here and say, oh, well, you didn't answer my phone calls. You know how I get when you don't answer my phone calls. So I went somewhere else to get that attention that you wasn't giving me for just this one day. Imagine that. I've been chewed out, and had people, and had, old girls say something about me because I was simply hanging out with my best friends, hanging out with y'all. That's why you're shaking your head. And a lot of people,
It's just so stupid. But
a lot of people, and it's like, I mean, of course, like when you have somebody, you have to feed into them. You have to continuously water. I'm trying to be deep here. It's not working because I can't get it out. But you have to continuously pour into your woman. Is basically what I'm trying to say. And even your man too, for the women that's listening, the straight women that's listening, and gay men. So it's just people these days, they just cheat off of the worst shit, and everyone has so much trauma and baggage that if they forget to do one little thing, or they don't do something for a day, they overreact. And if you're going through a stretch where maybe you're not really happy with the person, and like you said, like you alluded to, Sanfa, instead of talking it out and trying to just figure out where things go and then having that talk and going from there, people say, nah, I'm gonna avoid that and I'm gonna go get that attention and that love somewhere else. Because what they always say is, what this person won't, what this person doesn't do, this person will. There's someone who will. There's someone who's going to listen to your girl's problems and make her feel validated so that she becomes comfortable enough to where she'll come over, and then next thing you know, bing, bang, boom, they doing the nasty.
Catching up Pulani.
And it's a shame. And the thing is, women cheat for emotional reasons for the most part, because there's something that they're not getting from their partner that this person is giving them. So that's why they do that for the most part. I had a girl tell me that that she cheated on her ex because I think he wasn't giving her enough attention, and instead of just talking to him or just flat out breaking up with him, she cheated. And then she was drunk and she was with dude and she cheated. And then she told him, and then he was like, oh, well, I cheated too. But he did it just because he wanted something else to see. And that's where it comes back to, there are different levels of cheating. Men will just cheat because they just want to fuck something else. They just want to, they see a girl, he's attracted to her. Oh,
it's not lust. It get caught up in it. Yeah, with guys. Somebody had this conversation years ago, but yeah.
Women romanticize sex.
Emotional. It's more of an emotional state.
It's very emotional to most of them. I know not all of them are like that, but to a lot of women, sex is
overall,
like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's something really emotional to it, whereas guys are just
attached. Women get really attached when it comes to shit. Sometimes,
where guys are just oh, well, we did it, and unless he really likes the girl,
That's how you know if a guy really likes a girl, he's gonna let it be known. Because a guy, some niggas, it don't take much to satisfy us. I mean,
like if a guy,
single, man.
Yeah, like I mean, unless a dude really likes girl, but you're not gonna find out if old dude really likes girl through sex. And the same thing with women. It's different, and we can get into that bag another day. But I know for men, like the like they separate love from sex. If that makes sense. And I think women are just emotional creatures. They're more in tune with their emotions. So
because sometimes it takes a lot for a woman to get comfortable with somebody, and therefore when they do, it's like they're really attached because they gain that trust at first. Just to get to that point, it takes a lot to really get a woman to that point a lot of times. So once a woman, if she would have say if she's in a relationship, she would have I guess be showing interest in another guy, and the relationship ain't working, and the woman cheats. That's why they say when a woman cheats, coming back from that, it's most likely she's already been moved on. A woman end up cheating, no justifying it, but man, it's way more intense when a woman cheats to me than when a guy cheats. A guy just gets caught up out of lust a lot of times. Not even an emotional thing.
I think there are more justifications for women when they cheat than there are for men, because women can really articulate how they're feeling. A dude will just be like, it just happened. And he won't really give a reason to why it happened. Like you may have to squeeze that out of him, like for him to really articulate it, or maybe you have to articulate it for him. Whereas a woman, she know she'll know what she's feeling and why she's doing what and why she's doing it. I mean, because both parties know we know what we're doing. But for a woman, there's something that she's not getting from the person that she's with that she feels that she'll find in somebody else. And instead of talking to this person and telling her what's going on, she'll go ahead and cheat. And even sometimes, because you can say oh, well, she can just break up, because the crazy thing is,
it's not that simple.
No. It's not that simple, because it is. She can break up. She can break up with you, and then the thing is the thing is, especially if she's at the point to where she's just mentally clocked out, nigga, she already got one, maybe two niggas on the back, just ready to step up that she already been talking to, because she don't really feel that.
Already clock out early in the relationship.
She really don't feel that. She really don't feel that way. And as a dude, that's one of the most, when you realize it, one of the most heartbreaking things you can.
Sometimes you don't realize it till late, bro. And it just sucks, bro. Because
sometimes you never realize it until it's actually over.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
But it's all good though. You live and you learn. That's a part of growing up.
And it's not even just that. It's I'm a big believer in karma. So what you do will end up being reflected. What you do to others will be reflected back onto you. I believe that karma doesn't exist. It works. It just works in different ways, in different times, in different situations. With that, like I said, there are still a lot of things that was very not just heavy, but factual and it's happening. But it's not 100% of the time. Every situation is different. Just to add on to what you said, we live in a very toxic culture where people don't want to talk. Sex is something that's become a sport, and people literally are so quick to end friendships, relationships, partnerships, any bond over the littlest things. Darien knows exactly what I'm talking about. There's always something petty, always something stupid. It's never anything that's of substance. And especially relationship work. Like you said, oh, I didn't answer the phone. I mean, I work overnight. I work late. I told you this when I was touring you, when we were just dating and I was still in a relationship. I have times I can't answer the phone at my work. Why are you gonna use that as an excuse to cheat? That means you never fucked with me in the first place. Sorry, you never did. You like what I could give you. You like the security of relationship. You like the potential of what I could be to you, not what I was. Because if you really, really love someone, love is caring, love is understanding, love is patient. Or even not even as love, not even not let's go deeper love. Where you just care about someone, where you really like somebody. You'll understand, you'll be patient, you'll wait. Because you know that that person, even though y'all together, they have their own life. And they had their own life before you came into it. It's just like Drake said, if I'm willing to change up my routine and squeeze you in there and make you fit, I have to care about you because I'm not just gonna let anybody fit into my routine. When you're somebody that's very high oriented, has goals, has aspirations, you're locked in, your head locked in. Like recently, I've not been talking to nobody. Shout out to Shara. Shara, I was on the phone with you earlier. That was a beautiful conversation we had. That was dope. But I've not been talking to nobody. Like I've been really chilling, really heads down because I've been having to figure out a lot of things. Figure out what am I gonna do next in life. Like I'm considering going back to my old job, doing dialysis again because it's the smart option. Because it's just something I can get back into that, get my certifications, move up, be where I want to be. Because I'm tired of feeling like I'm going through a revolving door. Like I'm stuck in a cycle. It's like, and this is just me by myself. If I deem anyone worthy to fit into my routine, first you have to earn that. You have to earn that. You have to prove yourself. And then doing that, there has to be love there. There has to be conversation of like, okay, what is this going to be? What are your do's? What are your don'ts? What is, what triggers you? Like I said, it just goes back to actually liking the person, not liking what they do for you or what they can be for you. Actually, genuinely being in love with the person themselves because if you actually like someone, you wouldn't cheat or ruin the relationship or something so trivial. I didn't answer the phone, bro. I'd be busy. Like I do things, man. I'm always in movement. I'm always trying to do stuff. If you could have liked me from the jump, I wouldn't even care at that point. I'd be like, I would just be mad because I wasted time with someone that didn't actually like me for who I am. And I feel like that's the problem nowadays. Everybody's so trauma. They have so much trauma, so much mental issues. They don't even want to talk. They don't even want to acknowledge it. They just want to get fucked up. They want to get high. They want to go out every weekend to a party, go out to the club, or do something. They want constant distraction. When distraction is good from time to time, get your mind flowing, get your mind free. But when you're living your life full of not only just regret, but unchecked trauma and unchecked issues, you're going to end up spiraling out of control. You're going to end up putting yourself in a situation you shouldn't be in. You're going to end up in that dark place where you feel like you're at the bottom of the abyss and nobody can pull you up. Nobody can up you. You're going deep depression. First thing, the first step to acknowledging you have a problem is admitting you have a problem, admitting that you have things that's happened to you that's bothered you, that's changed your worldview, that has messed up, screwed your perspective. Then you can heal. A lot of people don't want to be alone, and we talked about it at the men's mental roundtable. Sometimes when you're alone, that's when you find your real self. That's when the self discovery is strong. That's when you could really, really reset because it's only you. You're down there in the trenches trying to figure things out. You don't have someone in your ears blocking out, not giving you that clarity. Sometimes you need that clarity to find yourself, to find a better you and be a better you. A lot of people they don't want to take that step and actually heal. So they just end up in these relationships where the wounds just get bigger and bigger and bigger to the point they're literally a broken mess that is so far destroyed, so far distraught that it will take nothing but the will of God Himself to heal that. We have to accept healing. It's okay. It's all right, people. It's all right to be alone sometimes. Sometimes you find your greatest self in loneliness. Sometimes you need to be alone. Sometimes you need that time to reset and calibrate. Because you come into this world alone, you're gonna leave this world alone. You're not gonna die with your lover. You're not gonna die with your friends. You're not gonna die with the people you care for. You're gonna die alone. So in times where you need to reset, you need to recover, you need to find your best self. It's good for that clarity to be there, to take the time to heal, to find that joy. People, I swear, a lot of people just don't have joy anymore. They're just not happy. And it's like, find your joy, find your happiness, find what makes you feel good, find that happy place, and focus on getting better because that other person isn't going to heal you. Like I said on the call, you're supposed to be adding to my happiness, not the entire central attention of my happiness. I'm supposed to be good, not perfect, but good. Strong sense of self, strong mental mind. But a lot of people, they're looking for happiness. Their whole center of attention of happiness is in the other person. And that's the wrong thing to do because you yourself will never be happy. You will never find your joy. You will never be okay. Because once that person goes, you're suddenly going to fall in depression again. That's not a way to live, man. You're supposed to be happy and content with yourself, confident, confident, self belief, self love. Love yourself because no one's going to love you the way you love yourself. Nobody. That's the type of love that you can't get from nobody. So that's really all I have to say on
It's so ironic we having this combo too because I did just posted something yesterday where somebody was on point where they said y'all be so hurt and just be hurting other people in the process, and that's not cool at all. That's toxic. And then they said if you can't be comfortable by yourself, stop fucking up other people's peace, and that's selfish. And that's so true. But basically, that's you basically just went into that, and that's very true. It's like, yeah, bro, if you're not like comfortable with yourself, it's like how can you like be comfortable with somebody else or like if you're not happy with yourself, how can you make somebody else happy? And it's just so weird. And this generation has to like wake up and like really mature and get out of that like mindset because that toxic shit is only gonna get you but so far in life. And like in a long run, bro, you're not gonna be good in the future. And that can really fuck you up at that when it's all said and done, bro. You really gotta change that because it's not a good look at all, man. People gotta like, yeah, the good always outshines at the end of the day, the good will always be like good at the end instead of like the bad. The evil never prevails. It just doesn't work like that, man. People gotta realize that.
Yeah, I most definitely say that I'm at a point now, like I mean, it's been like a couple months since I've actually talked to somebody and Sanfa, I'm the type of person like you just said, like when I really, really fuck with and care about somebody, my off days, which I use for me time, will now be filled with her. And the problem that I always run into is every bit of free time that I have, I will try and spend it with that person. Because again, when I'm with someone, I want to spend as much time with them as possible. For me, where the problem hits is where, say it's a weekend and I'm doing something with y'all, and I say I can't hang out. I'm doing something. I'm going out with my friends. It becomes a problem. And not necessarily it becomes a problem, but like I'll be busy and then they'll be like, well, okay, well, you can't hang out today. Well, what about tomorrow? Well, I gotta, I work both my jobs tomorrow. Oh, well, what about this day? Same thing. And then like it's when I start, having other things going on outside of them is when it becomes an issue. And it's not that I'm pulling away or I'm distancing myself. It's that I got shit too. And for me, it's just like I haven't really found someone that really respects that. That really truly respects that I have other things going on in my life outside of them that has been going on before them. I have other people in my life that were here before you. Now, yes, as someone that you're dealing with, they have to be your main priority, but they have to be up there. They have to be, or else it's not going to work. However, that doesn't mean that you have to not fuck with the people that you called friends beforehand. Like I know in my last relationship, I tried to keep a good friend relationship balance. Like there were times I didn't see y'all for months. I would talk to you, but I wouldn't see you. And like the times where I did see you, I don't want to say it was a problem, which I mean, more times than not, it wasn't a problem. But there would be times where it would be. So that's just a pattern that I've seen throughout, last few people that I've, talked to. I've talked to people, but it hasn't gone anywhere. And for me, it's just like every time, like even when I hang out with my friends, sometimes it just makes me realize how much now I love just being in my own space. I love being alone, thinking out loud, having conversations with myself because I'm crazy like that. And it's, and it's good to be alone. And kind of like what 301 said on the round table is, although it is good to be alone, it is not good to shut and cut everybody that gives a fuck about you out just because you're going through something. Because at the end of the day, like, yeah, some things you have to go through alone, but humans, if this pandemic means anything, humans are social creatures. Humans want that community. They want that camaraderie, even if it's small community. It doesn't have to be big, even if it's something like how refreshing it was for us to go to those kickbacks where we had those little mini meetups at the park or whatever, and we just did that. Like those are the type of things like humans crave human interaction. I know we have introverts and extroverts and ambiverts. I'm an ambivert, but at the end of the day, I know introverts that want that human connection, that want to go out in crowds. Maybe not as much as the ambivert or or extrovert, but they still want to get out there because they crave it, and they'll go crazy if they're just alone. That's where the depression will hit, and all this other stuff, and they just become they become socio psychopaths. So I don't know how we got here. I don't know how we got here. I think the consensus will say that the men cheating on women is kind of 50-50. I think that's what we say. I think Sanfa just said.
Yeah.
I think Sanfa said women just to shake the table and get people mad.
Oh yeah. I got one point I want to make real quick. Because we're also at a generation.
Man,
I'm also because you already knew though. You already knew. I just had to let y'all get whatever y'all had off y'all chest. Got the Montrez Harrell rep.
Oh man!
But like,
dog. Go ahead.
But like, I feel like we're at this generation is kind of like we're kind of inconsistent with how we talk about accountability. We say we want everybody else to be accountable, but yet we refuse to hold ourselves accountable. Because every time we're in a relationship or any other function and something goes wrong, we automatically start blaming everyone and everything else but ourselves. Because we, for whatever reason, have this idea in our heads that we're just supposed to be the perfect person. And we don't ever do anything wrong. So that way, if something goes wrong, it ain't me. It couldn't be me. It has to be you. Or it has to be this third thing. We talk a lot about accountability for a generation that refuses to look in the mirror, basically.
I was just talking to Bio about that. I think I called him like the other day, and we was just talking about that. Because if you and me and Sanfa has had this conversation multiple times over the last few months. If you're in a situation, in multiple situations, and each and every last one of them go bad, at some point you can I can't sit here and say that the reason why the last situation that I was in, it was all her fault. That's her. She's just a bitch. Nah. Like, you have to sit down and say, all right, bro, this is another situation that done gone bad. This is another friendship that done ended, another falling out that I done had with somebody. What am I doing wrong? What is it? And I also saw a tweet today where it was a woman who I think she had just recently gotten out of a breakup, and she was on a plane, and she saw this couple sitting next to each other, and they were holding hands and just touching, being affectionate. It wasn't doing anything wild, but she was just like, "Wow, I missed that." And da, 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 da. And then she's like, "What's wrong with me? Why can't I find this?" And blah 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 blah, trying to figure out what the issues was. And I hate that this person did this, but they quote tweeted it and said, "It's crazy how there's a difference between men and women when it comes to them speaking on their loneliness. One will sit here and talk about what's wrong with them, thinking that the problem is them, and the other will, they'll blame everybody else, trying to say, well, women will look into themselves and ask what's wrong with them, whereas men will be like, oh, well, she was just this, or she was just this, or she just didn't like that. Oh, well, she wasn't the girl for me anyway. Fuck her, blah, 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 blah. And then they go and do the same thing to about 10 other girls, and it doesn't work, but they're saying that it's her and not them. So it kind of just tied into what you said, and I wholeheartedly agree. And I think we all, like men and women, like we suffer from that, because we all want to be right, and we all want to kind of lie to ourselves and make it seem like we're not, like we're we're the bad guy in someone's story. We're not always the good guy. So we always try to convince ourselves that we're the good guy in someone's story, that we're the good guy in this said story, that we are not the problem in this said story. But this also goes back to where I said that we live in a very society that's big on justification, where people will sit here and try and find a justification for anything and say, well, I felt this way. This is how I feel. And if I feel it, then it must be real. If I had somebody say, if I feel like you are doing something behind my back, then you must be doing it because I ain't never wrong. You know? Or you can do something and someone will say, well, I feel like you're not doing this. I feel this, I feel that, I feel this, I feel that. No matter how much you refute it, don't matter. They still felt the way that they feel, and you don't want to invalidate anybody's feelings because now you're gaslighting. So you kind of have to. It's kind of like trying to decipher some of these things and get through some of these things. Like you got to be walking on eggshells now, and it's almost like you have to hold the other person accountable without pointing the blame at them. And that's really the tough thing about it. Is like trying to hold someone accountable, but not trying to say you are the cause of this problem.
100%, man. I agree, and I think that's a perfect way to close it off. Y'all got anything else y'all want to say?
Hell no.
No,
I
that was pretty good though.
Yeah.
That was actually a pretty good one. That needed to be talked about, honestly. That's why I was like, it's funny. I was ready to go, but it's like, yeah, we needed that talk though. That's something we need to touch on for real. Yeah, for real. Yeah.
That's why this month's roundtable will be accountability. That's the topic. It's gonna be good.
Just leads right into it. Yeah, that was good.
And the date, when the date is TBD, when the date is decided, everybody will know.
All right, about that.
But before we close it off for today, just doing the usual shout out to family, friends, loved ones for supporting the pod. Per usual, like I said, the goal for the end of the year, 2,000. We are at 1,750. Yeah, so we're almost there. Tell me, y'all can't do 250 more views? That's do it. Come on now, spread the love. We got things coming out. Episodes getting better. We're grinding. We got things popping, things planned for y'all. It's gonna be great. We're getting the end of the year with a bang. It's gonna be great. But like I said, thank you for the support. Shout out to just so many people, man.
Shout out to the chat.
I'll be here all night, man. If I start shouting at people, man. People been tuning in. They're saying, listen, man, y'all doing a great thing. Got people hitting me up asking me how to make a podcast. I'm like, oh my God, I am honored. So thank you, everybody, for the love, the support, the admiration, the sharing, everything. You guys are awesome. You guys are great. You guys are the reason we do this thing because we trying to break the system. We trying to make our voices be heard and have an outlet for people to come to when they need to hear not only the truth, but some great, lovely content. Again, episode 45, 52 is coming. 1 year 301 outlet is coming closer and closer. And we appreciate it. Y'all got anything before we close out?
Nope.
Awesome.
The Wizards lost tonight. Every ref that worked the game should be fired, but it's cool because we're going to beat the Grizzlies on Friday.
I'm dead.
And I will be at that game.
Oh, you gonna see
I will not, because I kind of got to rest my voice. I'm calling a volleyball game tomorrow and then a football game on Saturday. We're playing Elizabeth City State in a football game.
That's gonna be lit, bro.
Last game for the conference championship. So yeah, let's go.
All right,
let's go. Let's get it. Let's go.
Again,
Go to that game, bro. I'm off on Saturday.